Alright everyone, welcome back. Yes, return. It's this obstructive thought that's continuing to wish. If I so much as said a word, then it could have broken long ago.
楽しくはなかった。私は楽しかった。苦しかったけど、その苦しさも結局は。
More. Then the rest is simple. I'm already tired of this, so I just need to put my obvious conclusion into words.
結局は生きてこその喜びだった。あんな虚無に戻りたいはずがない。ここは私の望みでも何でもない。アンリ・マユ、この世界はあなたの夢だった。聖杯戦争を続けようとしたのが私の願いなら、あの平穏な日常こそが。
Don't go. Wait. A dream that has passed. It can't continue anymore, no matter how fun it is, if I've filled all the gaps.
そうだな。けど、もう大抵は飽きちまったから。
No. For the sake of something new. You'll always be
終わ
here.
りでも見てみないと。
Too much ugly lies. The tension disappeared. What a shame. I can't see what expression she's making now.
あなたは本当に。
This is a little reminiscent to Evangelion's instrumentality project, where if you watch the series of episodes, I believe 25 and 26, it comes off a little bit like this. A little bit.
諦めろマスター。これで跡形もなく消え去る。俺やあんたがどんなに望んだところで、この世界はおしまいだ。
A voice which asks, why? Geez, I explained it all just now. So what's she asking me for?
そりゃ崩れるさ。完成したんだから、あとは壊れるしかないだろ。全部なくなれば、俺もあんたも消えるだけだ。
どうして？なくなるってことはゼロでしょ？虚無があるのなら、あなたは何度でも蘇ると。
それは1があってこそだ。完全な無からは何も生まれない。1は0という空きを利用して流動する。けど0はね、1がなければ何にもなれないんだよ。
And there's no concept of one inside me. Everything flows through the void. But the void never partakes in those new events.
そう。これで終わりなのね。あれだけの出来事を経験して、結局何も学べなかったなんて。
A gentle voice. She's a little afraid, but as far as people resolve to die go, she's doing a great job of acting prepared.
それは今後の課題ということで。ま、元から幻みたいなものだったからな。形に残る戦利品なんて。
Ah, I see. So I can leave that behind at least. Despite everything, I'm still her servant that existed and lived for half a year. I'll make wiggle room for that at least.
アベンジャー？
いや、こっちの話。それより、聖杯はどうなってる？
長くは持たないでしょう。 ところどころに亀裂が走っています。
I see. In that case, this body should be satisfied as well.
化け物め、正気じゃねえな、ほんと。
Just once, I saw the dream of a stupid man. Unfortunately, his way of life makes me want to hurl, but I'm grateful that I had the chance to become that warped human being. A way of living completely opposite to mine. The form of an ideal that everyone dreams of and eventually discards once they decide its hypocrisy is evil. That foolish naivety. I probably yearned for it at least once.
よし、さあお互いの場所に帰ろうぜマスター。このために作り上げたんだ。最後は綺麗さっぱりなくならないと。
アベンジャー、お互いの場所といっても私にはどうしていいか。このままあなたと共に消えるのかと。
そこまで付き合うことはない。ほら、あんたはそっち、俺はあっちだ。ここで根性の別れだな。
I point towards the horizon. The entrance is the world after this. In other words, the fifth day. The exit is the world before this. In other words, the void.
Huh?
Why? Bizet asks in surprise. It shouldn't need to be said though.
いや、あんた生きてるから。死んでない人間はあっち側には行けないでしょ。
Her breath seems to catch in her throat. Well, when you're told that all of a sudden, I guess it's hard to believe.
待ってください。私は確かに。
死んでないよ。死にたくないってのがあんたの願いだっただろ。俺はそれを叶えただけだ。あの時のあんたは仮死状態だった。俺は半年間ずっとあんたをその状態で維持していたんだ。
The problem was after that. The woman from the church found Bizet in the secret chamber and just had to go and oh so generously treat her, which complicated things. If she hadn't showed up, things could have... Nah, they couldn't have continued much longer. It seems Bizet's body was at its absolute limits. If that woman hadn't discovered her, this 4-day cycle probably would have suddenly come to an end one day. Even if I had continued acting as a life support machine, Bizet's body might not have been able to last in the state longer than half a year.
でも
知ってるか？死者を蘇らせられるのは聖者だけって話。そもそもあんたが死んでたら死者である俺を呼ぶなんてできないんだよ。
That's right. The wishes of the dead cannot be granted. It is always the breath of life that causes things to happen. If the deceased were to be granted life once again, without a doubt, the dead cannot bring back the dead. Wasn't that the first thing I was told? The only ones that can ever call forth the miracle are the living? I hear something. For a place that should have hurried off to its curtain call and dissolve away, it's doing pretty well to hang in there for us.
急げ。いつまでも道はないぞ。外も時期夜明けだ。あそこを抜ければ念願の5日目だぜ。
でもあなたは。
いいから早く行けっての。言ったよな、自分の願いを叶えろって。なら立ち止まるな。あんたに残られると俺の願いが叶わなくなる。
That's all I wished for. What a boring sentiment.
無理です。いきなり生きているなどと言われてもどうすればいいのか。だいたい外も内も変わらないと言ったのはあなただ。このまま現実に戻っても私は。
今まで通りにやっていくんだろ。いろいろ口出しはしたがその生き方自体に文句はない。あんたはおっかなびっくり生きていけばいい。あのバカ神父も言ってたじゃないか。行き詰まったら海を渡れってさ。それは正しい。バゼット、世界は続いている。瀕死寸前であろうが断末魔にのたうち回ろうが今もこうして生きている。それを未来がないと お前は笑うのか？
If the host is still struggling to live, it's absurd for the parasite to give up. If there's still life remaining, there should still be plenty of things that can be accomplished. I don't care whether those things are good or bad. I can't pass judgment on living things running through the present anyway. All life runs without receiving any reward in order to have their value acknowledged by those that follow after them.
ずるい。あなたにそれを言われたら言い返すことができない。
恨み事と思ってくれ。悪魔の身ゆえ還元で人をたぶらかすんだ。
I grin broadly. I hope the shadow made in my shape can actually express that smile.
知らなかった。あなた悪魔だったんですね。
Just a little energy returned to her voice.
何言ってやがる。アンリマユってのは偉い悪魔の名前だろうが。
それはそうですが、あなたはとてもそんな大物には見えませんでしたから。
I hear a strained laugh. Geez, for a wimp, her retorts are at least are first rate. My lovely master seems to have begun gazing at the distant entrance that lies at the root of this place.
ですが、今は信じます。外に戻れというのは還元以外の何者でもない。要するに、あなたは私に苦しみ続けろというのですね。
当たり。秘密にしてたが、あんたのもがきようが大好きだったんだ。
それは随分と隠し事の下手なサーバントだ。
That was the best farewell I could ask for. Looks like I enjoyed this relationship of ours. I'm sure that's the reason why I accompanied her without violating or killing her. That's why I wanted a farewell like this at the very end. We'll part in the same manner as our relationship has always been. If there's one thing we haven't done, it's the fact that we only fought while covering each other's backs right until the end.
と、おしゃべりはここまでだ。あんたが行かないなら別にいいけど、俺は先に行かせてもらうぜ。
安心なさい。とりあえず私も立ち止まることはしません。ただ、その前に聞かせてほしい。真剣に聞くのですから、あなたも全力で答えなさい。
She sounds nervous. Wondering what she could possibly be holding back at this late hour, I tilt my head in curiosity.
なんで、何の取り柄もない私を、どうして選んでくれたのです？私はあなたの言う通り、弱くてつまらない人間なのに。
An awkward question indeed.
わかんねえかな。だからそこがいいの。俺が好きなのはあんたのそういう弱さだ。自分が嫌いで一生好きになれなくて、それが分かっていながら少しでも上等な自分になりたくてあがいてきた。俺はそういう無様なやつがいい。結果はどうあれ自分のために進むやつが好きなんだよ。
それは人のためでなく？
ああ、そういうのは余裕のあるやつに任せておけばいい。あんたはもう少し自分だけで手一杯だってことを自覚するべきだ。バカなんだから。
I hear a noise get caught in her throat. I can't tell if she's holding back a yell or a laugh.
なるほど。つまりあなたは私がどうでもいい人間だから助けたのですね。
Yeah. It's precisely because you're such an ordinary human, precisely because you were so weak, that you were an irreplaceable light to me.
わかりました。それではあなたの気まぐれに甘えるとしましょう。
それでいい。じゃあまあ一緒に別れるか。
ええ。では背中合わせでいきましょう。なんというか今あなたの顔を見たらひっぱたいてしまいそうなので。
She speaks with a bright voice. At the very end, I accomplished what I couldn't before.
大丈夫かな。俺ちゃんと背中ある？
あります。ほらかかとを回して。
We're back to back now. I don't feel any sensation of contact, but I'm sure she's behind me. I can no longer feel warmth or anything else for that matter, but my joy-filled heart is still alive and working.
確かに。じゃあ行くぞ。
せっかちですね。ここまでしたのですから同時にスタートしましょう。3秒数えたら走り出すということで。
Like sprinters, with a prep signal gun in each of our hearts. 3. I take a deep breath.
あ、抜け駆けして2秒目で走り出すというのはなしですよ。決闘ではないんですから。
2. I enjoy the typical anxiousness of hers.
甘いな。俺だったら1秒目で逃げ出してる。相手が3秒待ってる頃にはとんずらだ。
1. I retort just like usual.
そうですね。私も3秒待った後でその背中を狙い撃ちます。
A loud laugh. 0. Vision is filled with nothing but the void. There's no trace of the happiness felt from behind. Hear a crumbling sound. That sound will also probably return to the void soon. Run, not hurriedly, just in an average pace right until the end. Is that a letter I? I could be wrong. I would have felt the wind on my face a few hours ago, but now I no longer receive such external information. Sooner or later, these thoughts will chip away as well. The tremors that can just barely be heard are merely the sound of everything crumbling down now. In that case, this sound must be something happening inside me. I run. If I remember right, the exit was over there. I should have probably checked with when I could still see. Within the sound of the fluttering fragments, I hear the commotion I once went through. My legs are on the verge of stopping, but I keep them moving. I hear the sound of lives blooming everywhere and see the sunny spot where I once was. My legs are on the verge of stopping, but I keep them moving. I head towards the exit. With unseeing eyes, I run through the midst of the fragments of those ordinary days that I yearn for more than my own annihilation. I just wanted to see something new. Just like how my previous self wished for a revival, wished for her revival. I wanted to know even more of those many ordinary days. Even if that meant returning to being me. While knowing that death was 10 seconds away, I sought the light 1 second after. I run. There's no distance in this void. If I don't walk towards it and struggle on to reach it, then I won't reach it for eternity. I lost sight of the light of the exit when my sight returned to the void. There's nowhere for me to go now. I have returned to the void whence I came. Ah, but even so. Against these closed eyelids, even while collapsing, the world continues to revolve. I feel grateful and glad for the time spent. I bid farewell to the people who were with me. Thank goodness. It seems there's an exit for even someone like me. There's a difference between ending and not continuing, my previous self once said. If I borrow the hope in those regards, it seems that my ending, I can finally see the continuation. I won't come to a halt and remain stopped forever here. Even if I disappear, I will aim for what lies next. For that reason, I filled up the void that composed me and completed single picture. For that reason, I will return to the void that is me and complete the picture of the world. Though I can no longer see that picture, I hope that this picture will be beautiful to everyone. I run, I run, I run. The stars shine. The destination is certain. This torn apart body is only moving forward through sheer willpower. It's alright, there's nothing that can't be reached. Even if the things I dream of stop and lose their light, they feel dazzling to my eyes. Lastly, I say goodbye to my current self. Now then, let's go see the continuation of the end. I know that it's just my imagination that isn't such a good place, but for now, I walk towards that dazzling light. The bright light of the sun strikes my eyelids. As I start to regain consciousness, I can hear trees rustling in the cold wind that brushes against my skin. Blood slowly begins to circulate again, spreading warmth through my entire body. I've just awoken from a long sleep. I lift myself off the sofa. Both my body and mind left unused for a long time. I hear a creak every time I move. To be honest, it hurts. Moving my arm and even just thinking is painful. Yet this sensation is also accompanied by pleasure. This pain that I've forgotten, I've come to accept it a little more than before. Seems it can still operate such as it is. My left arm doesn't move, but it was not there in the first place. Seized by a sudden urge, I cradled the lost arm against me. It's a shame I lost it, but there's nothing I can do. I shall think of a way to keep on living as before in this state without averting my eyes. I begin to feel dizzy under the intense sunlight beating down on me. For an instant, the warmth makes me lower my guard.
Yo, 目が覚めたか、マスタ
A voice comes from behind. A voice I had never heard before, yet I feel deep affection for it.
兄
I turn around, the words trail off. There's no one there. There was nothing there to begin with. Let's continue. The owner of that voice, one that always talked back to me so casually, does not exist. Up from the sofa and towards the corner of the room. There, right in the spot where that someone used to be. Like a farewell gift, something has been left behind. A simple, nondescript white flower. Countless times he attempted to finish it and failed. A piece missing in the center. A puzzle that can never be perfectly complete. And by filling the void that was himself, he has finally finished it.
バカな男だ。こんなものどこにでも。
All sorts of scenes. The most insignificant, worthless patterns. Something got caught in my throat, guys, sorry. And yet that's what he viewed as something irreplaceable. Something that will not be praised. Something that nobody will stop to notice. That's the simplistic beauty that he left here. A single drop runs down my cheek. The core of my brain starts to burn. I realize that people can cry with joy, something I never learned as a child. Both regret and gratitude squeeze my chest. I feel heat at the corners of my eyes as I think of my regret for a better way that might have existed. And the days I've spent in the company of that servant.
さあ、聖杯戦争を続けようぜ、バゼット。今度こそ、あんたの望み。
It's just my imagination. This is the kind of relationship he wished for, right until the very end. And I, knowing that, was able to carry on somehow. Did I do my part well? Not as tragic separation, but as partners that do not trust each other going their own separate ways, just as he hoped for. If I did, then I can say farewell with my head held high. That vain show-off of a man, with his worthless meager pride. If we were able to keep it until the end, I'm sure we were the best partners there could be.
それじゃあこれで。さよなら、アベンジャー。
The sun is high. It's probably around noon. I checked my belongings and I noticed that one left-hand leather glove is missing. Sticky fingers or maybe just timidity? If you're gonna take one, just go ahead and take the set. I've got a lot of things to do. I went missing for 6 months. If the Holy Grail War is over, then I most likely been written off as dead.
もう何にせよ、まずは義手を手配しないと。
The association would have long since erased my position by now, and I have plenty to worry about just by figuring out what to do from here on.
今何か。
I heard a sound, something that definitely wasn't the chirping of birds outside. Honestly, I really let myself go in these few months. Curiosity winning over my sense of danger, I quietly walk up to the window. What I heard was a set of footsteps. I see a boy and a girl that I remember from somewhere, climbing the hill and coming out of the trees.
ここが噂の幽霊屋敷か。けど見た感じそんな雰囲気でもないぞ。別に調べる必要ないんじゃないか。
ここまで来て何言ってるのよ。落ち着いたら見学に行くって言ったのはそっちでしょ。それとも何？今さらおじけづいた？
そんなことあるか。別に幽霊の一人や二人今さら怖くもない。
いい返事ね。なら行きましょう。実を言うとね、私もここには興味があったんだ。
The boy and the girl walk up to the entrance, chatting all the way. For some strange reason, I don't feel the will to fight at all now. If anything, a childish urge to set up a prank comes first. Should I, as the rumor goes, play the part of it for a bit? I'm sure they'll be delighted. And as I'm contemplating, I hear the key turn in the door lock.
考える時間はないか。さて、初めの挨拶はどんなものがふさわしいかな。
My face broadening into a grin, I stand at the window, waiting for the visitors. Let's continue, he said. Right now, that much is enough. I may not have the answer for the time being, but there's nothing wrong with running on it in shameful worry. I'm sure it will be as painful as it always was, but there will be a little bit of joy, too.
まずは海を渡ったこの町であなたが繰り返した日常を見てきます。
My thoughts drift towards the future. The merry sound of footsteps is getting closer. Saying goodbye to the non-existent 4 days that only I knew, I greet the start of the 5th day in my new life. Days come, days go. We still chase the star, weaving past the memory into a beautiful tapestry. The endless 4 days have ended, once and for all. From now on, the story is for you to create. Thanks, and let us part this hollow Ataraxia. That was nice. Oh, well, look at that, guys. We reached the end of Hollow Ataraxia. I think I had like maybe what 92 point something% done. I mean, there's probably a couple of other areas I could have explored way early into the game, but I just continued with the story. Otherwise, this game was amazing. I loved it. This is like one of those visual novels that I've been looking forward to playing for a good long while since I played the original Fate Stay, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, but at the time, it just wasn't translated. And now that we finally have this opportunity to play it in full, we get to see what the hype was all about, and it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the story of Bazette and Avenger, and especially the little twist that was kind of spoiled for me in the second intro. But otherwise, even then, it was still like more about the journey than the discovery. And when we all learned how everything came to be and how everything came to conclude, it turned out alright for Bizet and everyone else, so it's good to know. I liked it a lot. I honestly don't know if there's going to be any more Fate visual novels, because right now we got like the other new games out that are kind of Muso at the same time VNs. They're like a good combination of both, but otherwise, you know, we also have the other Type Moon games to look forward to, like the second half of Tsukihime, so I'm looking forward to that one. Otherwise, again guys, great visual novel. I enjoyed it a lot. I want to thank you all for joining me on this, because it's been a fun ride. We had like over, what, another 100 parts to this VN, and what a ride. It was really good. So if anything guys, thank you again, and I'll see you all in the next one.